Okay, you guys. Stop whatever you are doing right now, because Chrisean Rock has officially lost her entire mind on live, and she just dragged Sexyy Red into a scandal so ugly, so poisonous, and so far past the line that the internet has not stopped screaming for the last 12 hours. I am telling you right now, this is not another petty rap girl argument. This is not a subtweet. This is not a diss track. Chrisean Rock got on camera, looked her audience dead in the eye, and basically accused her so-called sister of making her physically sick. She threw the word HIV into the air on a live stream with zero proof, zero receipts, and zero shame. And then she had the nerve to call Sexyy Red her sister in the same breath. Y'all, this is the most explosive celebrity fallout of the year, and by the time I walk you through every single receipt, every single rumor, every single ex-boyfriend Facebook post, and every single stage the hood hottest princess literally handed to this girl, you are going to be sitting there with your mouth wide open wondering how anybody could betray a friend this brutally on camera. So do not swipe. Do not scroll. Do not click away. Because what just went down on that live is about to change the entire landscape of hip-hop drama for the next 6 months, and I am the one who is going to break it all down for you tonight. Here is exactly what set the timeline on fire. Chrisean Rock hopped on live like she does almost every night. But this time was different. This time, she told her entire audience, in her own voice, that every single day, every single time she tries to sleep, she wakes up throwing up. And then, without missing a beat, without a second of hesitation, she connected that sickness directly to the St. Louis rapper. That is right. The same Sexyy Red who has been riding for this girl through every single one of her public disasters. The same friend who put her on her stage, put her on her record, and stood 10 toes down for her when nobody else in the industry would even say her name out loud. And now, out of nowhere, Chrisean Rock is on camera hinting that her homegirl is the reason she cannot keep her food down. This, y'all, is one of the messiest turnarounds we have seen all year, and I promise you, by the time I finish walking you through this, every group chat you are in is going to be on fire. Now, let me back all the way up, because if you missed how we even got here, this story is not going to make any sense to you. The Baltimore firecracker has been in the middle of her own hurricane for weeks. She is still trying to bounce back from that Twitch livestream situation involving her son. She is still fighting with Blueface's mom, with Blueface's baby mother Jaidyn Alexis, and with basically anybody who has ever shared a zip code with Blueface. So already, Chrisean is walking through the internet with a target on her back. And out of that entire mob of people lining up to swing, one of the very few names who consistently pulled up in her corner was Sexyy Red. That is what makes what just happened so shocking. Because the North Side star did not just show love from a safe distance. Sexyy Red invited her sister on stage. She handed her a mic in front of a live crowd and let her spit her Blueface diss track like the whole arena was Chrisean's personal therapy session. That girl literally put her own brand on the line to prop this whole situation up. And now, y'all, take a listen to what she said on this live, because you have to hear it in her own voice to really understand the disrespect. She sat there, looked into her phone, and told her viewers that every single time she goes to sleep, she wakes up sick to her stomach. Then, without blinking, she connected that to the hood hottest princess. That was the whole vibe. Nothing subtle. No metaphor. No maybe she meant something else energy. Chrisean straight up planted the idea in her audience's head that Sexyy Red is the reason she is throwing up. In the same breath, she reminded everybody, that's my sister for real. And then, almost like she couldn't help herself, she brought up a specific medical condition and joked that she had it before. Twice. Now, some of you are already typing in the comments, why would you say that about your sister? And baby, that is exactly the question tearing the internet apart tonight. Now, here is where the story starts to get even messier, because the accusation did not stop at hinting. Once that clip hit the timeline, everybody with a phone started digging through the archives on the St. Louis rapper, and there is a whole lot of archive to dig through. For years, there has been a very loud, very stubborn online rumor that she has been dealing with some kind of health situation. That rumor did not start with Chrisean. That rumor started with somebody Sexyy once trusted deeply. One of the fathers of her children got on social media a while back and made claims so explosive that the screenshots are still floating around today. He posted, and I want you to pay attention to how ugly this is, that, y'all's favorite rapper said she's burning, so everybody getting burnt. He added that, you got to be strong for that north side, and that he was the weak. That single post lit a fuse under her whole brand, because once you say something like that online, it does not matter if it is true, false, or somewhere in between. It sticks. And it stuck to her for years. Now, in his follow-up, in a video that he later deleted, he doubled down, screaming at the camera, asking her, "You lied to me for 6 months and then you told me you had that?" He kept demanding, "When you gonna keep it gangster? When you gonna keep it G?" And you already know what happens on the internet. Once one man makes a claim like that, 5 more men start crawling out of the woodwork with their own alleged stories. But here is the part one need you to remember. Sexyy Red has never once confirmed anything he said. She has publicly denied the entire thing. She has looked into her camera and said, and I quote, "Can I just chill? Can I hang out? Oh God. I'm a grown gangster superhero. Leave me alone." That is her official stance. Everything else is speculation. Everything else is chatter. But now, y'all, Sexyy Red is watching her own so-called sister pour a whole tanker of gasoline on that fire. Now let me talk about something else, because this story does not exist without Charleston White. Charleston White has made a career out of yelling about this girl on any platform that will point a camera at him. Every few months, he pops back up with another rant, listing off diseases like he is reading a pharmacy menu. He said, "And I am cleaning this up for you, I bet she had chlamydia, gonorrhea, trichomoniasis, crabs, and whatever else that can contract. You talking about she too nasty, man. And she ain't got them high dollar." Everybody messed up. Nobody has ever explained why he has this specific vendetta. Nobody has ever produced a receipt from Charleston White proving a single one of those claims. But every time he speaks, the algorithm eats it up and pushes it to another million people. And every time it happens, it lays another brick in this wall that people keep trying to build around Sexyy. Now, y'all, we have to be fair. The hood hottest princess has spoken openly, on her own terms, about contracting chlamydia from a former partner. She said it herself on a podcast. She said, "Me and my ex were together, and we broke up because he was cheating on me. So we broke up. Then I went and did me, and he did him, and then we missed each other. Came back together. Something wasn't right. We both were like, what is this smell? So we both went to the doctor. She admitted it. She laughed about it. She moved on with her life. But the internet does not let anything go. The second she said the word chlamydia out loud, the trolls turned that admission into a permanent stamp on her forehead. Every rumor that has followed her since has used that one honest moment as its foundation. And Chrisean, on that live, was clearly leaning on that same foundation. That is what makes this so cold. She is not stumbling into a rumor by accident. She is picking up a rumor the whole culture already knew about and swinging it like a weapon. Now let me tell you why this hurts even more, because you need the full receipt on how much Sexyy Red actually rode for this girl. Rewind to 2023. Chrisean Rock was in the trenches with Blueface. Everybody in that entire drama had picked a side, and most of them had picked against the Baltimore star. Who pulled up? The hood hottest princess. She walked her out on her own stage. She passed her the microphone. She let her perform her Blueface diss record in front of her paying audience. That is not a small favor. That is her trading in her own goodwill so this girl could get a moment. And that moment cost her, because within days, Blueface's sister came online, went on live, and accused Sexyy of stealing the record, "Free My Man," claiming the song was supposed to be for her. She got on camera and said, right now, she put "Free My Baby Daddy." He ain't do nothing. What is my baby daddy? Free my baby daddy. He ain't do it. Like, girl, she just is not, she pregnant. Like. That whole side of the family turned on the St. Louis rapper, and still, she did not fold on her sister. Now, keep going. Karlissa Saffold, Blueface's mother, jumped in next and mocked her whole appearance, calling her a stanky grandma and hitting her with, "She isn't even that cute." Sexyy did not go quiet. She fired straight back, dragging up Karlissa's son and reminding the internet about every ugly physical altercation between Blueface and Chrisean. That is right. She used her clapback to defend her homegirl again. And when Karlissa finally realized she was losing that round, Karlissa posted this whole soft apology saying, "It's been heavy on my heart to apologize to Sexyy Red because she ain't never did nothing to me. My comedy may have caused her pain. I think you're beautiful and brave in your own special way. I'm sorry for offending you because I'm not after people who've never done anything to me. Please forgive me. Sexyy Red barely acknowledged it. She walked past that apology like it was a wet leaf on the sidewalk. She had already made her point. She had won. And she had won on Chrisean Rock's behalf. Now, if you thought that was the extent of the loyalty, oh, you have no idea. Chrisean herself went on live months later and admitted something wild. She said, Sexyy Red too. I ain't going to hold you. He tried to pay Sexyy Red to hop on a verse with Jaidyn. Knowing damn well Jaidyn's diss track is against me. Knowing damn well me and Sexyy ride for each other, and that's my sister. Read that back slowly. According to her own mouth, Blueface allegedly tried to hand her friend a check to jump on a diss record aimed at her. Sexyy Red said no. She turned down that bag. And instead of taking Blueface's money, she flipped it and invited her sister onto the remix of F My Baby Daddy, giving Chrisean Rock a whole platform to fire back at her ex. On that remix, Chrisean came out swinging. She rapped, I'll show you how you turn your baby daddy into a side piece. You cover up his tattoo, block his number, then you pop it. Forget child support. I ain't going to court. Check my net worth. Baby daddy sick. I'm throwing it back. I know his chest hurt. That verse only existed because her sister made room for it. Now, here is where the emotional whiplash really hits. Fast forward to the Twitch situation. Chrisean got dragged from every direction after that live stream involving her son. Rappers were quiet. Podcasters were quiet. Even the people who normally live for a scandal were tiptoeing around it. Who was not quiet? Sexyy Red. Yes, Sexyy Red publicly stood on that hill for her sister while the rest of the industry looked the other way. And then Chrisean, of all people, went and shared a screenshot of a message she said her friend had sent her privately. That message reportedly read, I want to comment so bad, but it won't let me. I just wish they'd leave you alone. You're a new young mom who's still learning. I hate how they keep trying to bash you, dog. Y'all. Do you understand what that message means? That means, behind closed doors, the St. Louis rapper was still trying to protect her sister even when the algorithm was screaming at her not to. She was not just a public ally. She was a friend. A real one. Now, y'all, take a breath. Because after everything I just laid out, after all of that history, after all of those receipts, after all of that sisterhood, Chrisean got on live and floated the idea that her own sister is a health hazard. She revived the same nasty rumors that Sexyy Red has been trying to bury for years. Chrisean Rock even name-dropped HIV during that stream, which is an entirely different level of accusation with zero proof attached to it. There is no evidence. There is no leaked test result. There is no confirmed source. And yet she said it anyway, into a live camera, to an audience of thousands, knowing exactly how many screenshots would fly across the timeline within minutes. That, y'all, is the betrayal. That is what has the internet in a chokehold tonight. Now, let me pull in another wrinkle, because Chrisean has a track record of falling out with the people closest to her. Do you remember Marsh? Marsh was the friend who basically helped raise Chrisean Jr. While her mom was running back and forth between Blueface, her music, her boxing, and her breakdowns. Marsh was there when nobody else was. And where is Marsh now? Not around the Baltimore Star. That friendship crumbled in front of the entire internet, and Chrisean never really explained it. Now watch what is happening with Sexyy Red. Same pattern. Ally becomes sister. Sister becomes target. Target becomes live stream content. And the more you zoom out, the more it looks less like an isolated situation and more like a signature move. That is why so many fans in the comments right now are saying, this is not new. This is her whole loop. Now, of course, the internet did what the internet always does. Within hours, the timeline split into two loud, angry camps. On one side, you have people who think this whole moment proves that the rumors about the St. Louis rapper have always been true. Their argument is simple. They say, Chrisean is her sister. She has been in her house, been on her stage, been in her ear. If she is saying it out loud, there has to be fire under that smoke. One of the top comments floating around says, she tried to play it off like she was joking when she kept talking about burning people and all that. I always thought there was some truth behind it. People don't usually joke about things like that. That is one side of the argument. Now, on the other side, you have the Sexyy Red defenders, and they are just as loud. Their point is even simpler. They are asking, where is the proof? Because in all of these years, in all of these headlines, in all of these Facebook posts from angry exes and viral rants from Charleston White, nobody has ever produced a single test result, a single doctor's note, or a single confirmed piece of evidence. Everything is somebody's ex. Everybody is somebody's opinion. Everything is somebody's grudge. Another comment blowing up under the video says, the fact that Sexyy Red even has a platform and has become famous and rich says everything that's wrong with today's culture. Talentless people become role models for young audiences. Now that comment is not even about her health. That is about her existence, and it shows you how deep the hate goes. Now, here is the part that keeps me up at night, because I want you to think about this with me. When the hood hottest princess went to that hospital and posted that infamous waiting room selfie captioned, "Me at the doctor waiting on her to tell me why my coochie stank," the internet ran wild. Half the timeline thought she was joking. The other half thought it was a cry for help. And right around that same window, Chicago rapper Vaughn Off 1700 went on Facebook and dropped his own claim, saying, "I just got out of the shower and my D still stank." What the man? A few days later, he came back and doubled down, saying he had been intimate with her that same night. None of those claims have ever been independently verified. None of them ever became a lawsuit. None of them ever became a settled fact. But the story spreads anyway, because in this culture, a rumor about her is more valuable than the truth about almost anybody else. Now, why is Chrisean going scorched earth right now? That is the part nobody has really answered yet. Some people think she is on tilt from the Twitch fallout and just swinging at anybody within reach. Some people think there is a whisper argument the public has not seen yet, and this is her version of a warning shot. Some people think Chrisean is jealous, because while she has been fighting tabloid fires, her sister has been out here dropping records, walking stages, and stacking checks. Whatever the real reason is, the outcome is the same. She just weaponized her platform against the one girl who was consistently in her corner. And in this industry, that is not just messy. That is the kind of move that follows you. Now let me tell you what I think, because you know I have to give you my red. The way Chrisean Rock came out of the pocket, dropping that HIV reference on a live stream, no proof, no context, no receipts, is not a slip. That is a choice. That is a girl reaching into the deepest, oldest, most damaging rumor about her so-called sister and pulling it out into the light on purpose. And whether she meant to torch this friendship or just wanted a viral clip, the damage is done. Her friend would be justified never speaking her name again. And honestly, a lot of you in the comments are already saying you would not blame her one bit. Now, before I let you go, I need you to sit with this. The St. Louis rapper has denied every one of these health claims. She has openly addressed the one condition she actually did have and moved on with her life like a grown woman. She has stood on business for a friend who now appears to be standing on rumors against her. Whatever you think about her music, whatever you think about her lyrics, whatever you think about her image, none of that gives anybody the right to spread unproven medical accusations about her body on a live stream. That is the line. And Chrisean, right or wrong, just walked right over it. Now, before I wrap this up, I want to leave you with one more thing to chew on, because this part is going to sit with you long after you close this app. Sexyy Red, whether you love her or hate her, has spent years being the internet's punching bag for a version of her life that the culture invented for her. Every ex with a phone gets to weigh in. Every commentator with a mic gets to speculate. Every reality TV villain gets to yell her name for engagement. And through all of that noise, she kept showing up for other people. She showed up in Baltimore. She showed up in her friends' DMs. She showed up when Blueface allegedly tried to pay her to attack her sister. She showed up when the entire internet was calling for Chrisean's head over that Twitch situation. And her homegirl repaid that loyalty by picking up the internet's oldest, cruelest rumor about her and firing it back into the timeline like ammunition. That, y'all, is not sisterhood. That is not tough love. That is not, quote-unquote, comedy. That is a betrayal so pure and so cold that even the messiest corners of hip-hop Twitter are speechless right now. So, y'all, let me know in the comments below. Do you think Chrisean Rock was dead wrong for publicly turning on the one girl who defended her when nobody else in the entire industry would? Or do you think there is a whole other side to this story that has not hit the timeline yet, and Sexyy Red is not as innocent as she is playing it? Are we watching the end of the Sisterhood in real time? Or do you think they patch it up on live by next weekend and act like none of us saw any of this? Do you think Sexyy should clap back with her own live? Or should she take the high road and let Chrisean keep digging her own grave? Drop your take. Do not be shy. Type in caps. I do not care. I want to know exactly what you think, because I am reading every single one of these comments tonight. And while you are down there, do me a huge favor. Tap that like button, subscribe if you have not already, and hit the bell so you do not miss a single thing, because trust me, the way this timeline is moving, there is another shoe about to drop before the sun comes up. And I want you here when it does. Now, if you thought this was wild, wait until you see the next video, because there is another celebrity meltdown brewing right now, and it might be even messier than this one. Click it. Watch it. And I will see you right over there.